Chapter 1. The Arrival. The clanging of cell doors reverberated through the stark corridors of Greystone Penitentiary, a jarring welcome that echoed Leo's inner turmoil. He clutched his worn diary, its pages blank like the uncertain canvas of his future. Fear gnawed at him, mixed with the stench of antiseptic and despair that clung to the air. His mind raced back to a troubled childhood marred by violence, a cycle he thought he'd escaped but now felt ensnared by once more. As he stepped into his new reality, the haunting sounds of shouting inmates and the creaking of steel bars created an unsettling harmony. Leo felt lost in this world of remorse, yet beneath the fear lay a flicker of determination. This was not just a prison. It was a chance for a new beginning, a prompting to confront the chaos within. With pen in hand, he scribbled, desperate to document his journey, his path to redemption. Chapter 2. First Impressions. As Leo navigates the labyrinthine corridors of Greystone Penitentiary, the harsh realities of prison life begin to settle in. The clang of metal gates and distant shouting serve as a constant reminder of his new reality. He describes the stark, barren environment, concrete walls adorned with unyielding steel bars, and the myriad routines that dictate daily life, where schedules are as rigid as the rules that govern interactions among inmates. Leo witnesses the palpable power dynamics, where the unwritten codes of conduct dictate respect, fear, and survival. The staff, a mixture of indifference and authority, loom in the background, enforcing their control with little empathy. Amidst this oppressive atmosphere, Leo's heart races, but it's here, at the brink of despair, that he begins to comprehend the importance of camaraderie. The shared laughs and whispered secrets among inmates briefly uplift his spirit, igniting a flicker of hope amid the darkness. Chapter 3. Connections in Darkness. As days turn into weeks, Leo finds solace in unlikely friendships within the bleak confines of Greystone Penitentiary. He meets Marissa, a quirky former chef serving time for a crime of passion, and Omar, a gentle giant whose past was marked by violence and self-defense. Through their candid diary entries, listeners are drawn into their stories of regret, resilience, and the dreams that linger beneath the surface. Leo's initial apprehension begins to fade as they share moments of humor amid the harsh realities of prison life, from steel bar jokes to muted laughter during shared meals. The soundscape of their interactions, a blend of shifting footsteps, soft banter, and the occasional clank of metal, paints a vivid picture of camaraderie. In this realm of darkness, they find light in each other, forging connections that challenge the isolation of their environment while igniting Leo's motivation to transform his life. Chapter 4. The Weight of Regret. As Leo sits in the dim light of his cell, he pens his thoughts about the family he left behind, particularly his younger sister, Mia. The sound of distant echoes fills the air, amplifying his sense of isolation. He recalls the late-night phone calls where her voice trembles with worry, her anxiety gnawing at him like a relentless tide. Diary entries reveal the heavy burden of his choices, each sentence steeped in remorse for missed birthdays and stolen moments. Marissa's voice interjects, sharing her own tale of heartbreak when she lost her daughter after her crime. Similarities in their pain strike a chord with Leo, igniting conversations that deepen their connection. Omar, in his gentle yet firm manner, encourages Leo to confront his feelings rather than hide from them. Together, they reflect on the pathways to change, showcasing how shared vulnerabilities can spark the journey toward forgiveness and redemption. Chapter 5. The Power of Storytelling. In the dimly lit common room, the atmosphere shifts as inmates gather for their weekly storytelling session. Leo, feeling a blend of excitement and trepidation, takes the lead, encouraging others to share their pasts. Marissa's voice breaks the silence as she narrates the tale of her culinary dreams and the mistakes that led her to prison. Omar follows, recounting a childhood where he learned to defend himself, but at a steep cost. The sound of hushed murmurs and empathetic responses fills the air as their shared stories intertwine, creating an electrifying bond among the group. The rhythmic scratching of pencils on paper punctuates the intimate atmosphere, each note a testament to healing through vulnerability. In this space, laughter mingles with tears, as the inmates find solace in their collective journey and begin to understand that their past does not define their future. It is merely the prologue to something greater. Chapter 6. Seeds of Change. As the days in Greystone Penitentiary unfold, a palpable shift begins within the inmates. Leo finds himself at the center of evolving conversations about transformation and personal growth, fueled by newfound self-awareness. In this chapter, he reflects on the inspiring stories shared by Marissa and Omar, which spark a desire for change among the men. Together, they explore the concept of rehabilitation, shifting focus from their past mistakes to the potential for a brighter future. During group sessions, the sound of pens scratching against paper echoes around the room as inmates jot down their goals and dreams. The atmosphere is charged with hope. The laughter and chatter of inmates exchanging ideas fills the space, punctuated by moments of insightful silence. Leo realizes that education and art could serve as powerful tools for redemption, planting the seeds of change not only within himself but among his peers. Their journey has begun, leading them toward a shared desire for a better life beyond the bars. Chapter 7. Creativity Unleashed. In the dim light of the prison art room, the sound of paintbrushes swishing against canvas fills the air, creating a symphony of expression. Leo has discovered a newfound passion for art, allowing his emotions to spill onto the canvas. As he lays down vivid colors, he reflects on how this creative outlet serves as a lifeline, bridging his turbulent past with the hope of a brighter future. Accompanying him in this journey is Marissa, whose culinary talents spark discussions about food, culture, and longing. Their shared laughter and spirited debates about recipes become moments of freedom amid the concrete walls. The inmates bond over their artistic endeavors, crafting pieces that tell their stories and encapsulate their dreams. Through creativity, they begin to shed the heavy shackles of despair, finding solace in the beauty of self-expression and the intricate connections formed in the shadows of Greystone Penitentiary. Chapter 8. The Redemptive Power of Forgiveness. In the dim light of the common area, Leo reflects on the profound theme of forgiveness that has emerged among the inmates. He feels a shift within himself as Marissa prepares to write a heartfelt letter to her estranged daughter, contemplating the bridge between past mistakes and future healing. Her voice quivers with emotion as she narrates her words, pouring her regret and hope onto the page. At the same time, Omar pens his own thoughts, revealing his struggle to let go of the anger that initially governed his actions. The ambient sound of scratching pencils and soft sobs fills the air, interspersed with whispers of encouragement from fellow inmates who gather around, offering support. This collective act of vulnerability and honesty becomes a cathartic release, illuminating the power of forgiveness, not only towards those they've harmed, but also towards themselves. In this small corner of Greystone, a glimmer of hope begins to shine through the darkness. Chapter 9. New Connections. The atmosphere in Greystone Penitentiary shifts with the arrival of a new inmate, Jake, a seasoned criminal whose hardened demeanor intrigues but intimidates Leo. Their first encounter occurs in the yard, where Jake's blunt observations on survival clash with Leo's growing desire for change. As tensions rise, Leo grapples with conflicting emotions, his commitment to transformation and the magnetic pull of Jake's rebellious spirit. Listening to Jake's swaggering stories, Leo feels a mix of admiration and caution. In diary entries, he reflects on how Jake's tales remind him of the darker paths he has fought to leave behind. Slowly, a cautious friendship develops, solidified during late-night discussions that oscillate between challenges and insights about empathy and redemption. Through shared vulnerabilities, Leo learns that true strength lies in understanding, not aggression. This connection forces him to confront his own beliefs as he navigates the complexities of choice, identity, and the journey to forgiveness. Chapter 10. Bridging the Divide. In the dim light of the prison art room, an electric buzz fills the air as the inmates gather. They are now united in a crusade to reach the outside world through their artwork. Leo stands at the forefront, his voice steady as he leads a discussion about their upcoming community art exhibition. The flickering sounds of paintbrushes on canvas blend with excited chatter, revealing a newfound sense of purpose. A new inmate, Jasmine, joins the group, and her bold ideas challenge Leo's perspectives. Tension rises as differing opinions clash, but through dialogue, they learn to navigate their differences, uncovering the power of empathy. With every brushstroke, they find connections that transcend prison walls, breaking the barriers between their pasts and futures. Together, they craft a collection that tells their stories, a testament to resilience and hope, ready to be shared with a world waiting to listen. Chapter 11. The Outside World. As Leo stares out of the small barred window in his cell, the memories of his life before Greystone embody both a trap and a beacon of hope. He recalls his family gatherings, the laughter shared over meals, and the warmth of his sister's embrace. Through diary entries, each inmate pens letters to their loved ones, revealing a tapestry of regret and longing. Marissa writes tenderly to her estranged daughter, expressing her desire for forgiveness and reconciliation, while Omar reminisces about the mundane joys of life beyond the walls, pondering how to rebuild trust. Ambient soundscapes of scratching pens and the quiet rustle of paper evoke the intimacy of these heartfelt exchanges. Yet beneath the surface, anxiety brews, each letter marked with both aspiration and fear. In this crucial moment, the contrasts of their pasts and hopes collide, underscoring the unpredictable road ahead, a reminder that the outside world remains both alluring and daunting. Chapter 12. The Final Countdown. As the clock ticks down to their release dates, a palpable sense of anticipation and anxiety buzzes through the prison. Leo gathers with his fellow inmates in the common area, where conversations about freedom swirl like the heat rising from the aged concrete floors. Their voices, often tinged with hope and fear, explore what life outside may hold, reconnecting with estranged family members, finding employment, and grappling with the stigma of their pasts. Amid laughter and solemn reflections, the men and women share their dreams. Omar yearns to embrace his grandchildren, while Marissa hopes to reclaim her identity as a mother. The ambient sounds of clinking metal and distant shouts evoke the stark reality of their environment, juxtaposed against the inner world of their aspirations. As they prepare for this monumental transition, the group clings to one another, forging bonds that will help guide them into the unknown terrain of freedom. Chapter 13. Preparing for Change. As the days inch closer to their release, the atmosphere inside Greystone Penitentiary becomes electric with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Inmates gather in the workshop, their voices buzzing with discussion about the outside world and the challenges they'll face upon reintegration. Leo, Marissa, and Omar lead sessions focused on practical skills, resumes, job interviews, and managing personal finances. Each shared experience brings forth fears and hopes. The sound of pens scratching on paper fills the room, underscoring their commitment to change. Leo reflects on his younger sister's future, fueling his determination to succeed. Marissa shares culinary techniques, dreaming of a second chance in the kitchen. As they practice mock interviews and discuss support networks, an air of solidarity envelops them, transforming their anxiety into resolve. The chapter closes with a hopeful cadence, as laughter and encouragement echo, underscoring their collective aspiration to thrive beyond the prison walls.